Hello people, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, have a seat, join our little family. Today we'll be discussing how to take aesthetic but also effective notes, as you read in the title. As you may or may not know, I bought an iPad recently. If you haven't seen my unboxing video already, go watch it right now. Not now. Actually finish this video first and then go watch it. And I've been taking notes on my iPad ever since. Some of the reasons I went digital were that everything is stored in one place conveniently, which makes for less to carry around. All the pens, highlighters, brush pens in any color are all in one Apple Pencil. It's also very forgiving in the sense that there's an undo button and you have the freedom to move things around, unlike paper, which is great because I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to my notes. Lastly, it's very easy to import diagrams and images and very easy to annotate them as well. There are still some things that I'm learning, but so far I would recommend the iPad to other students. Of course, not everyone is into that digital life, so I hate that I said that. Anyways, the methods that I'm gonna explain can be used on digital or on paper as well. Okay, so for my paper notes, these are my favorite black pens. I never really used colored pens. Of course, mild liners because they come in, I think, 20 colors now, and I love that they're dual tipped as well. Sharpie Clear View highlighter is also a really good option. If you're into calligraphy, the Tombow dual tip brush pens are a really good option, and they come in a lot of colors too. Y'all don't have to be as extra as I am, but this Tombow brush pen, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name, is also good. These are my favorite mechanical pencils. The Staedtler eraser is the best eraser I've ever used. I love 5-star notebooks because they're super durable, but only in college ruled because we don't do white ruled. So for my digital notes, obviously I use my iPad, of course my Apple Pencil, my MacBook as a second screen, a USB and a matching adapter because Apple is annoying, and lastly a wireless Bluetooth mouse, which I got off of Amazon, and it's pretty cool because it lights up. The app I use is GoodNotes, and I like to use dark square paper in the letter size. I write the majority of my notes using the white ballpoint pen in the size 3 or 0.3 millimeters. For my titles, I like to use a thicker size pen, like around 0.9 millimeters. So I use a pretty simple bullet point system for my notes. After I write out the title, the header of the section that I'm taking notes on is written in caps in a lighter color. I use a bullet point to put down the main idea or key concept, and then I use an arrow to explain that concept, and a dash for any additional information. I use a lot of numbered lists, and I also organize information into tables. I also sometimes use these large brackets to group information together. For the most part, I use 2 highlighters, one to identify the main points and the second one to highlight any important information underneath those main points. One thing I really like about GoodNotes is that it has this feature, I'm not sure what it's called, but it allows you to zoom in and write, and it'll move the page for you instead of doing it manually. It's literally so easy to import images into GoodNotes. All you have to do is look the image up and then pull GoodNotes beside Safari and just press and drag the picture into your document. Since I use dark paper, I usually crop the picture using the freehand tool. Then I just go ahead and annotate the picture, which I'm pretty sure I did wrong. And with the lasso tool, you can move it around and resize it. So my biggest tip is don't do the most when you're first writing. Don't look at them highlighters, them brush pens, nothing. Just get the information down. That's what's most important. You don't need to write everything out. When you're going back to review your notes, nobody wants to look through a huge block of text. If you actually pay attention to what your prof is saying in class, it'll save you a lot of stress and headache. They often hint at what's more important to focus on and things that you can skim over. I am all for writing the least amount of words possible, so abbreviations are an absolute must. My notes are for me, myself, and I, so when I write them, they only need to make sense to me, because who gonna check me? Nobody, period. The easiest way to make your notes pretty is just to add a nice title that stands out. These are a couple simple ways I do them. My second tip is don't use too many colors. Most of my notes have a color theme. For example, here it's pink. The majority of the text is in white, and I'll use a dark pink and a light pink pen and do the same for the highlighters. There's really not much to it. Having neat handwriting, I would say, does half the job. Remember that all the aesthetics are optional. The most important thing is that you're getting the information down in a concise way that you can study in the future. So if you find that you're taking too much time doing this, just make sure that your handwriting is neat and legible. So I'm just going to flip through now some of the notes that I've taken on my iPad so far. So yeah, our pretty notes are done, but now we gotta study them.
What?
I'm looking at you, sir. It's not over yet. The best way to study them is active recall, which is a principle of efficient learning, and it effectively moves information from short-term to long-term memory. One of my favorite ways to do this is just to use a whiteboard and write everything I know about a subject over and over again. Another way is to make flashcards on Quizlet. And that's it for today's video. I hope you learned something and you enjoyed it. Make sure to like and subscribe because it took me a long time to edit this video. Thanks for watching.